Today I'm going to be spilling all the tea on the brand new M4 MacBook Pro. I bought this as soon as it came out, but fast forward 1.5 months later, I've decided, unfortunately, I'm going to be refunding this. And that is because there's 5 things I wish I knew before buying, and I'm going to share it with you so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. I'm Annie, a brand and web designer and fan of Empty Studio, and I just needed a really powerful machine to be able to run the Adobe programs that I use. I also use a lot of video editing softwares, and I thought this was going to be the one. Everyone said it's so powerful, but I'm going to give you the real rundown. So let's get into it. Number 1, let's talk about the color first. This space black, it's been all the rave, everyone loves it, my partner does. However, there is a lot of fingerprints that's going to get caught on this. You have to wipe it every day, every other day. I was at the Apple store and I should have known then, but there was a dedicated team member who was just by the Apple tables with a microfiber cloth, just giving these space black ones a wipe down. It's not as bad as the midnight one for the Airs, but it's still pretty bad. And with the specs that I wasn't quite happy with, I ended up going and changing it to the silver one instead. And I wasn't sure, but now having it here, seeing it in person, it is the classic pristine color and I love it. I think this is probably the best choice I could have made for myself. So unless you really love the space black one, I think everyone's going to be happy with the silver. Next is the display. So before I had the regular display, but for this one I ended up upping it to the nano texture, and you can't tell until you see the comparison between the regular display. I thought the regular display was good enough. I was also worried about the color quality, but look at this. Look how much more glare it is. And I'm always working from cafes in bright lighting environments. And I think just overall, the nano texture works really well. It is a matte finish and it helps save battery life as well because you don't have to turn up so bright to try to eliminate the glare. And also, if you like the way that I set up my desktop, right here I have a video that I walk you through how I set it up, and also I have a series of wallpapers that I've designed that you guys can download for free if you want to revamp your new or old MacBooks. Next, let's talk about battery life. So this MacBook is advertised to be able to run for 24 hours. Now I knew that wasn't going to be the case if you're running intense softwares like I do. So the real rundown is if I'm using 2 Adobe softwares, if I'm also on Chrome and I'm browsing and I have a few browser tabs open, it lasts about 7 to 8 hours for me. So on average around 10% or a little bit over 10% for every single hour. So that's what you're dealing with, but it's still a lot better than my old 2019 one, which lasts on 1.5. But on the bright side, the fast charging does work pretty well. So if I plug it in for half an hour, it will get me close to 50%. Now let's talk about specs. So in the original space black one, I already got it in the M4 Max chip, which is the top of the range. I didn't think I'd need to go any higher. And this is in the 14-core CPU, 32-core GPU with 36 gigs of unified memory, which people say should be 1.5 to 2 times RAM. So this should be theoretically a really powerful computer already, and in 1TB SSD storage in the 16-inch. However, it wasn't enough because when I was running just a few Adobe programs at a time, I was trying to stress test it a little bit and opening up Illustrator, Photoshop, and also InDesign and a few different browsers on Chrome, trying to see how much I can push it. InDesign really froze the computer. It summoned the rainbow wheel of death. The whole thing glitched and lagged. And I didn't think this would happen with such a powerful Mac. So I brought it into the Apple Genius Bar, and they said it could be that certain softwares like Adobe haven't tailored it to the M4 chip yet. However, now that I'm using it a month later, it still has similar issues. It still does lag, so bear that in mind. And that is why with the silver one, I ended up upping it, keeping the M4 Max chip, but upping it to the 16-core CPU, 40-core GPU with 64 4 gigs of unified memory, which is insane. My partner, he games, so he's like, wow, this should be a beast. If you're still having issues, then that is an Apple problem. And I also upped it to 2 terabytes of SSD storage, which is very excessive for most people, but I'm always going out and seeing clients and I don't want to carry hard drives and things like that. And towards the end of your MacBook life cycle, once you kind of use up all the storage, it slows your computer down significantly. So to future-proof it, I'm just gonna have as much internal storage as possible. And now after using this for 3 weeks, it's been really good. Like, I haven't faced much issues at all, but I do hear the fans going off when I'm editing, and I'm also on different softwares at the same time and multitasking. But when I run a lot of heavy programs at the same time, I do see the battery life go down, and the shortest session I've had on this is around 4.5 hours, so not ideal. So to better demonstrate the comparison between the 2 Macs, I'm going to be downloading this video right here, exporting it from CapCut. So it's around 7.3 gigs and it's 7 minutes long. There's a lot of 4K footage in here. So let's open it up and let's go ahead and go to File, Export, and then let's choose 4K resolution and all of these settings. Perfect. Export. And let's see how long this takes. Now let's export this exact same video on the space black one, which is the 36 gig unified memory with 1 terabyte of SSD storage. Export. Same exact settings right here. And let's see how long this one takes in comparison. Now, just for fun and to really see the difference, let's also export the same video on my 2019 Intel chip MacBook Pro. So we'll export it with all the same settings. Let's see if the others really smash it out of the park in comparison. Alright, now the results are in. Are we surprised? This brings us to the final lesson that I wish I knew before buying the Macs, is that your internet is going to be one of the biggest bottlenecks. And no matter how fast the M4 Max chip is, it can't save you from bad internet. And especially if you're using a lot of cloud-based softwares, like I use Figma and Canva, even a fast processing chip, it can't save you that much from really bad internet. So make sure your internet is up to speed, and this way you can utilize the most of what your machine offers. So at the end of the day, the M4 chip is amazing, but it's not perfect. But if you have a 2019 MacBook or older, this is a really good time to upgrade because it is actually a lot better than even the M3 chip. However, you have to be clear on what you're expecting. If you are a creative pro, I'd suggest you going with at least the Pro or the Max chip if you have the budget for it, and take advantage of the 2-week refund policy. I'd say start with what you think is enough and just use it. If it's not enough, then you can upgrade. In the holiday period, they actually extended it, at least in Australia, to almost 2 months for the refund or exchange. So make sure you just take advantage of that, play around with it, and make sure you get the perfect one because it is a pretty big investment. If you enjoyed watching this video, then go check out the unboxings because now I have the space black one and the silver one, so you can dive deep into each to see which one would suit you best. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!